Are these the results of a terrible accident or abject evil? Christy Sims, an attractive single mother of two, has just been doused with a bowl of blistering sulfuric acid, a so-called accident by her boyfriend, Andrew Fordham. Her agonizing screams captured on his call to 911.
She's screaming, please, get somebody
understand. Is she bleeding from anywhere?
Burning her skin.
Okay, it's burning her skin?
Yes.
Paramedics arrived to find her blinded, her flesh being eaten away by the corrosive drain cleaner. Now, after 13 surgeries, this brave woman comes out from behind the mask to share her story of terror, agony, and incredible courage.
At that moment that the paramedics arrived, it was the most torrential rainfall in all of 2013. And it was the rainfall that they used to rinse me off.
You're kidding.
I was closer to the door. I was too far away from anything else. And so they took me outside, stripped me down, took all of my clothes off. It was the rainwater that saved my life because the acid came within 2 centimeters of my heart.
To spare her from unimaginable pain, Christy is placed in a medically induced coma for 2 whole months.
So I woke up blind, unable to walk, unable to move my arms because the acid affected the nerves in my arms. So I had to have intense occupational and physical therapy for months before I could even walk or use my arms, bathe myself, and slowly over time, my eyesight did come back.
At first, police are led to believe Fordham's account of what happened, that he spilled the drain cleaner by accident. When you were opening your eyes and coming to terms with what happened, he wasn't in jail.
No.
How come?
He said it was an accident. And when they questioned me, within 1 hour of having my body burned to the 3rd and 4th degree, 20% of my body, they questioned me. And they said that I said it was an accident. I have no memory of ever being questioned. I was in shock.
But prosecutor Sandy Rivers is convinced this was no accident.
There were 2 EMTs that responded to the house when it happened. And they are the ones that contacted the police and said, this is not an accident. Y'all need to investigate this.
Rivers begins by taking another listen to the 911 call and the instructions from Poison Control.
Is she washing it off right now? I have Poison Control on the line. We need to wash it off real good with soap and water. Are you guys washing it off with soap and water?
Yes.
Okay, is it still burning?
Yes, it's burning me too. It's on me.
To me, the smoking gun was when I heard the 911 call, the dispatcher telling him to put water on her. Because, you know, if this water had been put on her quickly, immediately, it would have negated the injuries.
And listen closely to this snippet of Christy in the background, just as paramedics arrive. Why is this so damning? Because Fordham never even attempted to wash off the acid.
He said to her, just sit there, just sit there.
She's begging for help.
Right.
And he's saying, just sit there.
Just sit there, that's what she told me.
When he put the phone down and came back to me, I said, what did they say? Why is it burning so bad? What is this? He said, babe, they said, if I put water in, it's gonna ignite the chemical, so just sit here until the ambulance gets here. And I sat there for about 13 minutes and it just burned through my skin.
What do you make of him? Cold, calculated?
Evil. If you spend a lot of time looking at domestic violence cases, there is the classic phenomena of if I can't have you, nobody else will. And I think that he wanted to make her unattractive to anybody but him.
Disfigured.
Mm-hmm.
Sandy Rivers is determined to prosecute Andrew Fordham, but she'll need Christy's help to do it.
When Christy first came into my office, she had on a veil, which covered everything except for her eyes and nose. You wanted to think that was a little dramatic, but when she took it off, it was a horrible, horrific scene.
But Christy shows incredible courage, revealing to the entire world the horror inflicted upon her by the man who claimed he loved her.
He could have rinsed me off, and just him rinsing me off, I would have been burned, probably to the 2nd degree, but I would not have had to have my entire face replaced. I would have some resemblance of who I used to be, and I don't have that anymore.
Christy summons the strength to face Fordham in court, testifying to his unspeakable cruelty.
That's the part that it's hard to forgive, because even after he doused me, he let me sit and burn, and he saw how much pain I was in. See, nobody else saw how much pain I was in, but he did. He saw it.
And that 911 tape is ultimately what helped put him away?
Yes, because it contradicted everything that he said.
Despite his claims of innocence to the bitter end, Andrew Fordham is found guilty and sentenced to 20 years behind bars. In the meantime, Christy Sims has endured more than a dozen painful reconstructive surgeries.
I had a social responsibility. You don't go out in public looking the way I was looking. My own daughter was afraid of me, so children could not even be around me.
But now, Christy has found the strength to turn her tragic story into a shining example of hope, faith, and courage, penning a book called Yellow Tulips on a Cloudy Day.
She's funny, she's fun, and she's not been victimized by this. I mean, she's stronger because of this. It has changed her life, but I don't think it'll define her life.
And through her Christy Sims Foundation, she hopes to reach potential victims of domestic violence before it's too late.
I travel, I go into middle schools and high schools, I tell my story, and I give all the warning signs. And instead of focusing on helping people after the fact, I try to prevent it.
Christy is still shining. She's still shining. She's still courageous. I'm so proud of her about the fact that she's stepping out, speaking to people and crowds and all over the world, you know, and she's not ever gonna give up. She's gonna always press forward, because that's who Christy is.
No matter how bad stuff is, like even being grateful for this little dimple right here, you just find a way to be grateful, and that's how you survive. You find something positive in the negative.